What's going on, guys? This car is kind of gonna be my focus. The Supra has had the spotlight for too long, and I just kind of want to focus on the 32 for a little bit. I have a lot of plans in terms of body kit and aero. Huge shout out to Joey for trading wheels with me. Definitely suits the vibe of the 32 a lot more. We're dropping these two this Friday on the lowcalsmovement.com. So yeah, we're just gonna go to the car wash right now, wash some of the salt off of it, and kind of get it ready to stay in here for winter. This car has got to be one of the most photogenic cars that I've ever owned personally. So one thing before I completely remove these, I'm actually going to be marking horizontal lines on the A-pillars, and I'll explain a bit more about why I'm doing that later. It doesn't have to be perfect. It should actually be pretty easy to do. There's not really any intricate angles or edges. So it'll be a good practice run, and hopefully you get a good finish on them. So I kind of sketched a little bit more of what I want the wing to look like. If you guys have been watching Lowcals for a while, you know that I have been trying to build wings for a really long time. None of them have ever been successful, so fingers crossed that this is the one. Obviously you have to use your imagination for this, but that looks pretty sick to me. Alright, personally I think it's a bit too tall, but I'm gonna mock up the roof wing just to be sure. Keep in mind, this is a carbon roof wing made by me, but I was not happy with how it turned out. The surface is a bit wavy. This was actually one of the first pieces I made, and I know I can do better than this now. I think that is looking pretty sick. My goal is to match the angle of this body line with the wing. I do not like how this angle does not match this angle. So when I actually do the final version, I want this body line to line up with the top of the fender right there instead. So it's gonna be a little bit more forward pointed. Hopefully you can see what I'm going for. Damn, that's a sick angle right there. Dude, yeah, that is so dope. And then wait till you guys see the body kit that I have going with this. Oh, this is gonna be so sick. I wanted to do like a big wing without actually doing a big wing. So this is kind of like a street GT wing is what I'm calling it. Every piece is going to be carbon fiber. As I mentioned, the purpose of this is just to get the dimensions so I know exactly how big to make the final pieces. What are you doing, David?
Science.
Scam callers.
Fucking guys.
Store. For the past 2 days, I've been cutting and gluing these foam pieces together. It's taken a little bit longer than anticipated, but I finally have something to show for it. So, if you can guess, this is my wing for the Skyline. The plan is to cut as many cross sections as it takes to get the total width of the wing. So these are 1-inch cross sections. So far I have, I think, 48 of them together. So we're at 48 inches total length. Probably Monday I'll be coming in and starting to actually shape this wing. The plan is to shape it, fiberglass it, smooth it out, and then mold it to make the actual carbon wing from that. Alright guys, we're here in the carbon workshop. We've got both of the A-pillars ready to go. So first thing we're going to be doing before anything is cutting our strips of carbon. If you guys remember when I drew these lines, this is actually the direction that the weave is going to go. So I want the weave to be horizontal. We're just gonna take note of that when we lay this out and actually cut our carbon for it. So the difference between a twill weave carbon and a regular carbon is that each strand goes over 2, under 2, over 2, under 2, whereas a regular weave is over 1 and under 1. So they offer different strength benefits to each of them. See how my lines match the weave pattern? It's been about 3 hours. It is at the point where it is tacky, but nothing actually comes off on your fingers. And this is the point we're going to begin the actual layup process. First coat of resin is done. These are definitely going to need a second and possibly third coat of resin. It's sort of soaking through the fabric in the places that I didn't really pull it quite tight enough, so I'm just going to let this harden. That way there will be no air pockets underneath it, and then I can apply a second coat of resin and build up a nice gloss layer. As you can see, it's pretty glossy in some areas, but in other areas it's not fully saturated. So rather than just trying to douse it in resin, I'm just gonna let it harden and then hit it with a second coat probably in the morning, but these are definitely coming along, and once I wet sand them and everything, they should be really mint. What is going on, guys? New day at the shop here. It is Monday morning. Got my A-pillars chilling here under the UV, just letting them cook a little bit longer. Oh shit. I'm still gonna be wet sanding them and making sure they're actually like polished up, so it's really not that bad. Some areas you can just see how glossy it's gonna look. The reason that I did the center section in pink is so that I can actually count out how many pieces away from the middle there are, kind of, and then use them for measurements. So, for example, like the first one outside of the pink needs to be 10 3/4 inches long, and then I can make sure it's even on this side. So that's kind of the process that I'm using right now, and just measuring each section and then making sure the other side matches. It's not quite as important right now, but just as we begin the smoothing process, it's going to be important that we refine each of those lines and make sure it's all equal. So the top of the wing is getting relatively flat, but the bottom still has a lot of unevenness to it, so that's what I'm going to start working on right now. And once we have everything a little bit slimmer, then I'm going to work on actually profiling it and getting it to the shape I want. Damn! Alright, so I still have to wet sand it. It's not 100% done, but I just wanted to put it in for video's sake. So yeah, if you remember where I drew those lines earlier, you can see that all the weaves are going this direction, which is nice and level with your eyes, directs your eyes towards the road rather than kind of distracting you. Yeah, pretty cool though. It makes the car interior, David was saying, look like a supercar, and definitely like modernizes everything. The 32 dash is pretty old, beat up, so this definitely helps. Yeah, I kind of entertain the idea of doing a like full carbon headliner, but that would be extremely expensive, so there would definitely have to be a lot of demand for it. So if you guys want me to do full carbon headliner, let me know down below. Thank you guys for watching. If you like this video, be sure to give it a thumbs up and let me know what carbon projects you want to see next. Come back in the next video and hopefully I'll have the wing somewhat more completed. Anyways guys, thanks for watching. Peace. it.